Hello, I'm Zuo the BBA freshman. In the long review of human history, countless outstanding scholars have painted a colorful brush of the picture of human thought with countless creation, improvement, and progress. These silent ideas gradually become philosophies that affect human beings. The birth of philosophies connects different nations, human process of different spheres, and further promotes the development of knowledge, music, culture, science, philosophy, uh, forces, poetry, including drama, and other fields. The framework of national knowledge is gradually formed, which is necessary for the future development of market. For example, in ancient Greece, the three Greek sages are world famous. Socrates and his follower Plato and Plato's student Aristotle. Plato. Plato is the originator of Western objective ideal philosophy. The Kyle kept of his philosophy is ideal, so his philosophy is called idealism. He believes that the formula of the principles of the universe are primitive, eternal, and also, while the world of sensory contact is the copy of paradigm of the former world without permanence and universality, and the Platonic spiritual love that many modern people follow is the source of his love theory. Paradoxically, philosophy is not reflected in the latest creation of knowledge and thought works, queens and stories of characters deeply tactile who puzzles the truth of life. For example, Socrates openly emphasized the democracy system that has been practiced for a long time in Athens and Aristotle practiced philosophy, history of animals and other books, cosmology and other philosophical thoughts have acted incorporably principles in various fields for later generations.
Hello, I am Islam Muhammad Rahanul. Now I am talking about a background of Plato. Introduction. Plato was a renowned ancient Greek philosopher who lived from approximately 427 to 347 BC. He was a student of Socrates and the teacher of Aristotle, making him a central figure in the history of Western philosophy. Plato's works has had a profound and lasting impact on philosophy, politics, ethics, and various other fields. Overview. Early life, student of Socrates, founding the academy, theory of forms, political philosophy, legacy, philosophical contribution. Example, early life. Plato was born into an aristocratic family in Athens, Greece around 427 or 428 BC. His birth name was Aristocles, but he is commonly referred to as Plato, which is believed to be a nickname meaning broad or wide, possibly referencing his broad shoulders of his wide-ranging intellect. Student of Socrates. Plato became a devoted student of Socrates, another influential philosopher of his time. Socrates' method of dialectical questioning had a significant influence on Plato's philosophical approach, founding the academy. After Socrates' execution in 399 BC, Plato traveled extensively, studying mathematics and philosophy in Egypt and Italy. Upon returning to Athens, he founded the academy around 387 BCE. Theory of forms. One of Plato's most influential ideas is the theory of forms, which posits the abstract ideal form of concept exists independently of the physical world and that the physical world is a mere imperfect reflection of these ideal forms. For example, he believed that there is an ideal form of a perfect circle that exists independently of any physical circle. Political philosophy. In the Republic, Plato outlined his vision of an ideal society governed by philosopher kings. He believed that philosophers, due to their wisdom and love of truth, should be the rulers of a just and harmonious state. Legacy. Plato's works have been highly influential in the development of Western philosophy. His ideas have been debated and interpreted by philosophers for centuries, and they continue to be studied and discussed on the contemporary philosophy.
Hello everyone, I'm Zhao Hanyi, and today we will introduce Plato's contribution to Greek philosophy history. The famous poster was had the will consists of the Western philosophies can be said with certainty to be a series of footnotes to Plato. The company for the pistol puts that one can see that Western thought is either plenty and plenty, but no time it is not plenty. It is not only abnormal that an Asian man more than 2,000 years ago could rule Western Philippines for such a long time, but also a great fraction to collectors. Western philosophists Plato had the hard its impact on Western history, culture, philosophies, politics. So, to understand the Western world, we must first understand Plato's two things. There was a screen difference in the things of Australia. Another great company of Plato as first of more dynamics and expressions where Plato was more into the search for the truth through reason and speech. In Plato's Republic, has always the rule of plenty and the reason of social harness and George sought ideal improvement and moral mass. However, Plato Republic it has secret his, and the philosophy is the march of reading the opposite think. And the point two, this mode of national education philosophy. Plato's writing style is unique and his language is discussed philosophy is used in a well-did and healthy way, which enables to think, development, and understand in the process of reading. His works is passing to and introduce myself to deep understand and feel of his times. And point three, the holistic approach to education. In Plato's will, the main way to realize the highest value and achievement is the government of the republic. It's thought education. Whenever it is the point training post to rule the country. Children who are brave we are connected with production and willing to support the rules. It is necessary to rely on education to discover the civic actors and their republic so to our training their responsible. Ability and ability. There is a pair to and greatly improve change to education and often to talk about education. Plato as the facilitators and the educator. First purpose is the competitive professional school education.
Hello, I am MD Irtisam Hossain Jahid. Today I am going to discuss about Pluto's belief about education and demonstrate skill and mortality. Pluto's belief about education. Pluto, the Greek philosopher, believed that education was a lifelong process and that it was necessary for all citizens to be educated to maintain a stable state. He believed that education was more than just memorizing fact while sitting in a classroom from youth to maturity. Instead, it was a lifelong process, and even adults could be trained and educated. Pluto divided the system of education into two, elementary and higher education, and divided classes based on age and class. In this book, The Republic, Pluto writes the education was not limited to youth and that one could continue to learn even after they reached maturity. He believed that education promotes the full development of humanity and that through education one chooses the truth and adapts himself to the social process. Pluto's own theories and philosophies of education are what currently shape the educational system of most countries, not just the West. Pluto's theory of education is based on the idea that there are three parts of the soul: reasons, spirit, and appetite. Reasons is the highest part of the soul and it is responsible for knowledge and wisdom. Spirit is responsible for courage and honor, while appetite is responsible for desire and pleasure. According to Plato, education should focus on developing reason in individuals. He believed that reason should be trained through mathematics, science, philosophy, and music. Plato also believed that physical training was important for developing spirit in individuals. Demonstrate skill development. Plato was a Greek philosopher who lived in 4th century BCE. He was a student of Socrates and a teacher of Aristotle. He is best known for his dialogue, which explore various topics such as ethics, politics, metaphysics, and epistemology. Plato also founded the Academy, which was one of the first institutions of higher learning in the Western world. Plato's practical skill development was influenced by his education and his travels. He learned traditional subjects like grammar, music, and gymnastics from distinguished Athenic teachers. He also learned philosophy from Socrates, who taught him how to question everything and seek the truth. Plato was also an accomplished wrestler, which helped him develop physical strength and discipline. Pluto traveled to different places and travel and learn from different cultures and school of thought. He visited southern Italy, Sicily, and Egypt, where he studied with uh, Pythagoreans, who are followers of the mathematician and mystic uh, Pythagoras. Plato was fascinated by mathematics and its relation to the ideal form, which he believed where the truth really behind the physical world. He also learned from uh, Parmenides and Zeno of Ella, who were philosophers who challenged the common sense notion of motion and change. Mortality development. Plato was one of the most influential philosophers in the history of Western thought. He was a student of Socrates and the teacher of Aristotle. He wrote many dialogues in which he explored various topics such as ethics, politics, metaphysics, epistemology, and uh, aesthetics. One of his main interests was the unique of how to live a good and happy life. For Plato, this question was closely related to the concept of virtue, which he defined it as a state of excellence and harmony in the human soul. Plato believed that the human soul consists of three parts: reason, spirit, and appetite. Each part has its own function and corresponding virtue. Reason is the highest part of the soul, which guides and control the other part. Its virtue is wisdom, which is the ability to grasp the internal and unchanging forms of reality. Spirit is the part of the soul that supports reason and resists the temptation of appetite. Its virtue is courage, which is the ability to act according to reason is the face of danger or difficulty. Appetite is the lowest part of the soul, which seeks bodily pleasure and mm, material goods. Its virtue is temperance, which is the ability to restrain and moderate one's desire. Justice is the virtue that results from the proper alignment and harmony of the three parts of the soul, each performing its function well and in accordance with its nature. Thank you.
Hello, this is Islam MD Rashidul. In this presentation, I am going to talk about the Plato's view about spirituality and the relationship between Plato's view of spirituality and NEP. So, Plato's spirituality is based precisely on the fact that soul has an origin, the purpose outside the body, and that belongs to solely to realm of form. So now let's talk about Plato's view about the spirituality. It is possible to understand that and interpret spirituality in variety of ways, frequently based on one's personal beliefs, cultural background, and philosophical perspective. There is no standardized definition for it because it is a highly individualistic and subjective component of human experience. Here are some salient features of Plato's thoughts on spirituality. The number one, the soul's immortality. Plato believes in the soul's immortality, which he extensively discussed the Phaedo. Plato claims that the soul is an everlasting being that existed before birth and endures after death. The number two, the pursuit of wisdom and truth. According to Plato's philosophy, the human experience revolves around the pursuit of wisdom and the truth. The fine timeless and unchangeable truth that exists outside of the physical universe. He thought people should engage in philosophical reflection and dialectical argument. Number three, love and the soul. Plato examined that the idea of love and the fetus, which he views as a potent energy that can propel people towards spiritual development. According to Plato, love can elevate the soul and motivate people, purpose, virtue, knowledge, and beauty. So now let's talk about the relationship between Plato's spirituality view and NEP. NEP means National Education Philosophy. One's own work, knowledge of oneself, and knowledge of idea of the good. Plato believes that social justice could only be realized when all social classes in a society, workers, soldiers, rulers, coexisted peacefully. According to Plato, everyone may live in peace as long as they offer equal educational opportunities from a young age, allowing them to compete fairly with one another due to the political system being managed by unqualified individuals in the absence of equal educational opportunity and adjust society will emerge. Tyranny, oligarchy, democracy, and faulty democracy will ensue. Japan and other East Asian nations have benefited immensely from the advancement of modern education in terms of economical development of their society, but there are issues with schooling in those nations as well. So, particularly in Japan, Korea, and other East Asian nations, the college entrance exam lead to major social inequities and issues such as unequal educational opportunities, a lack of character education, a financial burden on a parents and other. Therefore, modern society requires the Platonic theory of education in order to attain justice, as Plato's philosophy of education will offer a holistic version of address such issues in education. According to Plato, education is a tool for achieving social individual justice. And according to Plato, when each person achieves their potential to the utmost, individual justice can be attained.
Hello, I am Andy Tisam Hussain Jahid. Today I am going to conclude the whole topic. The conclusion is started from uh, the national education philosophy of Malaysia is a holistic and integrated approach to education that aims to develop the potential of individuals and product good citizens. Plato, an ancient Greek philosopher, also advocated for a holistic approach to education that involves the training of the reason, spirit, and appetite of the soul in harmony. Plato's concept of education was based on his view of spirituality, which posited that the soul is immortal and can access a higher realm of forms throughout philosophy and love. Plato's spirituality view and NEP have some similarities and difference in terms of their belief and goals. Both Pluto and the NEP share a common version of education as a holistic and integrated process that aims to develop the human potential and foster moral and intellectual ex- excellence. However, they also differ in some aspects, such as the role of religion, the nature of reality, and the degree of involvement with the material world. Therefore, it is important to critically examine and evaluate the strength and weakness of both philosophers and to apply them in a way this is relevant and beneficial for the contemporary society and the individual. So now here is all the reference of our presentation.